Shaw University has the distinction of being one of the oldest historically black colleges in the country and the oldest in the South.
But there is another history-making aspect of Shaw that many may not even know about. CBS 17's Rod Carter is back with us to tell us more about it.
I'm sure you guys have both been to Shaw University. You know, it's like walking in history, just being on the campus itself. It is the first university in the country to house African-American women in a dorm, and there's an amazing reminder of that is still prominently seen on campus every single day.
I'm here now based on my ancestors who have paved the way for me.
Nakiah Carter and Zaid Steele
Shaw University is a family.
Are two of Shaw University's best and brightest. Both chose this HBCU because of the H, the history.
It makes me feel at home. You know, it makes me feel good, especially a person like me who loves history.
And what a history it is. Shaw is the oldest black college in the South and one of the oldest in the country. Formed approximately 6 months after the Civil War, Shaw University began as the Raleigh Institute. Its purpose then, pretty simple, to teach theology. A year later, women started attending the school.
When we know the weight that carries, we cherish our education a lot more. And so being that we are the first, not the second, not the third, but the first, it holds weight.
Now another bit of history many people see passing by but may not really know.
Women were allowed to come on campus here shortly after it was erected, 1873, in order to get their education.
This building, Estey Hall, now home to the administrative offices, once housed female students. In fact, it was the first in the country built for African-American women.
So this is a very popular space for us to use.
A tour of this building is like a walk through history.
This particular organ is as old as 1888.
Originally, the building was known as Estey Seminary in honor of Jacob Estey. He was the largest donor to the project. He owned the Estey Organ Company in Vermont. Estey is a 4-story brick building. In 1882, the 3-story South Annex was added. Now, aside from the dorm, it also held classes in home economics, music, art, and, of course, religion. From that foundation sprang an incredible community around it at a time when people of color were struggling to just find a place as newly freed people.
That included building a middle class, creating homes, schools, businesses, like stores, and of course the religious institutions.
And here's another piece of history. It was here inside these walls of this oldest building left on Shaw's campus where in 1960 Ella Baker was credited for creating the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, known as SNCC. They led the way in the important sit-in movement that was instrumental in changing the course of civil rights. And those are the shoes and the shadow these young ladies proudly walk in while creating their own legacy to leave behind.
When we leave here, we want the people that are younger than us to be like, I can because they did, right?
So I want to give you a little bit more about history about Shaw itself. Henry Martin Tupper, which is a Union Army chaplain and Baptist missionary, actually founded the school in 1865 to educate former slaves. Students and faculty originally met in a hotel room because they didn't have any money for land or buildings. And in 1870 is when all of that changed. The school received a donation from a philanthropist. His name was Elijah J. Shaw. And with that money, the school was able to purchase land near Fayetteville Street, and thus the name Shaw University.
Wow, very important history there. I didn't know any of that.
Fascinating,
right.
Gorgeous building.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm like Rod. If you're downtown, take a minute to walk over there and walk around the campus. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you just feel the history for sure.
Great story, Rod. Thank you.